Just ahead on CTV News, Hurricane Helene growing stronger and headed to Maryland. Plus,
a Black-owned tech company is going to show us how they're using AI to promote public safety, coming up on CTV News.
And we shine a light on a high school quarterback in our Friday sports page. Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for September 27th. I'm Katera Jones.
And I'm Mariah Jalad. Thanks for joining us. Category 4 Hurricane Helene made landfall over Florida Thursday evening, and today it's moving over Georgia, the Carolinas, and Kentucky, and is expected to hit Maryland today as well. We are already seeing some precipitation from Helene across the state, and it has significantly weakened compared to when it first came ashore yesterday. But still, we can expect moderate to heavy rain through the day, showers on Saturday, and chances of rain into early next week. Anne Arundel County is under a coastal flood watch beginning at 8 this evening. Maryland Task Force 1, a 45-person team made up of members from Prince George's and surrounding counties' fire departments, was deployed to Georgia this week to help with search and recovery of any victims of the storm.
We now have an update on the victim killed in a Fairmont Heights shooting Tuesday night. 32-year-old Takia Nails was nursing one of her twin babies when she was shot and killed in her home. Nails was shot by 26-year-old Quindell Mercer, the father of the twins. Prince George's police found Mercer in the district on Wednesday. Mercer later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police are now ruling this a murder-suicide linked to domestic violence. Nails leaves behind 4 children.
And October will be Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but it's never too early to show support for the survivors in our community. This Saturday, the Prince George's County Family Justice Center is hosting their second annual Walking in Hope 5K event.
The walk calls for participants of all ages to walk in solidarity with survivors of domestic violence while spreading the powerful message that hope and help are available.
We are really hoping to bring awareness to the issue of domestic violence. It's real, it's a community problem, and we've seen a significant increase in the number of people that are impacted by domestic violence. October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so this Walk in Hope is our way of kicking it off. You know, there's still a lot of shame and stigma associated with it, not to mention fear. I would encourage anyone that's involved or that's being impacted by domestic violence to reach out for help. The Family Justice Center is that resource. We're the one-stop shop resource. We are private, confidential, and we do what we can, meeting you where you are to give you the support and services that are needed to get help and to stay safe, which is the most important thing.
Again, the Walking in Hope 5K is this Saturday and will start at Allen Pond Park in Bowie. For more information about the walk or the Family Justice Center, visit pgcfamilyjusticecenter.org.
Well, millions of dollars has come into Maryland's Senate race this year from both sides, and there's more on the way. Today, the Democratic National Committee is pitching in an additional $75,000 to Maryland Democrats to help candidate Angela Alsobrooks. The money is specifically intended to help Alsobrooks reach Asian American voters. This funding adds to the previous $250,000 investment the DNC made to help Maryland Democrats working for Alsobrooks. Meantime, a Republican Political Action Committee has reserved over $18 million of airtime and started running attack ads against Alsobrooks this week, calling out the property tax breaks she took that she was not entitled to. And the University of Maryland Students for Justice in Palestine chapter receives a powerful backer in their lawsuit against the school and its president. The American Civil Liberties Union and several other free speech organizations filed an amicus brief supporting the lawsuit. The suit argues the university violated students' free speech and First Amendment rights by restricting campus events on October 7th and canceling a previously approved vigil by the student group. Now, court documents say that event was meant to feature teach-ins about Palestinian history, Palestinian culture and art, and an interfaith prayer. The group's first appearance in court is set for Monday, September 30th.
A new contract includes a pay increase for the Prince George's School District's support staff. The Prince George's County Board of Education approves a 2-year contract with the Service Employees International Union Local 400 PG. The contract includes a 4% cost of living adjustment for fiscal year 2025 and a 3% cost of living adjustment for the fiscal year 2026. The deal also includes retention bonuses for both full and part-time employees. The union represents support staff such as custodians, bus drivers, and cafeteria workers.
And the Maryland congressional delegation announces millions of dollars to benefit the Chesapeake Bay watershed. Congressmen, including Steny Hoyer and Glenn Ivey, and Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen, announced more than $10 million in National Fish and Wildlife Foundation funding. That money will benefit 11 different Maryland projects that protect and restore water quality, species, and habitats in the Bay. More than $1 million of that funding will go to the Prince George's County government to restore Lower Beaver Dam Creek, a tributary of the Anacostia. And the influence of AI has rapidly grown across the globe in the past decade.
And a local man is using his AI business to revolutionize public safety. CTV's Bryce Parker is in Oxon Hill with more.
We are going to all be affected by artificial intelligence and automation. So for me, I really take a lot of pride in being a Black AI founder. And what I'd like to see is that more young people like yourself are getting into the field.
This is Bernard Wright, CEO and owner of Pervista AI.
We created a platform that leverages computer vision, and it looks at camera streams in real time, and when a gun is detected, we notify police immediately.
Wright is a Hillcrest Heights native who has been working in IT for over 30 years, previously having experience working with the federal government and Prince George's County. The inspiration for his business also hits very close to home.
Many people heard about it in May of 2023, where 3 teenagers ran onto a school bus and attempted to shoot another teen. I saw that as being an opportunity to really go and see what technology could do to keep that from happening again in the future.
So the camera you're seeing right now is a part of the technology that can detect a gun. They also have drones that do it as well. So right now I'm going to pick up this handgun and I'm going to walk past this camera. So if I'm walking into this room and this camera detects that I have a gun in my hands, it will use its technology to send it to the servers and they can dispatch police. But it doesn't have to be a full gun. I can have the gun holstered like this. I can have the gun in my pocket like this, and it can still detect a percentage of a gun. It will still kick it to the servers and they can determine whether it's a gun or not and dispatch it to police in under 2 minutes.
In the future, Wright hopes to expand his AI business beyond gun detection, while also providing opportunity in AI that is not granted to minority populations like those who live in Prince George's County.
What I'd like to see happen is that this becomes a large enterprise right here in Prince George's County, and that I'm giving young people in Prince George's County diverse talent an opportunity to work in artificial intelligence.
Bryce Parker, CTV News.
Great report there, Bryce. Another one of Wright's goals is to normalize Black-owned startups going public on the stock market. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Katera Jones.
And I'm Raya Jalad. Still to come, day 2 of the Prince George's Film Festival is underway.
And we have the details on what the day has in store when we come back.
I just knew that I wasn't the high-performing person I used to be. Pieces of my past are being erased. I was lucky. We caught this at the very earliest stages. I hope that my story can give other people hope. There is life to be lived. Increasingly, there will be treatments. We need to invest even more in research and finding treatments and cures. If your loved one or you yourself are sitting there thinking, something is wrong, I'm not who I used to be, you can get some answers and you can get them for free.
We now know the name of the victim killed in a shooting in Mount Rainier on Monday. 22-year-old Frevier Yanez Salas was found inside a vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds. He was later pronounced dead on the scene. The shooting took place at the 3400 block of Rhode Island Avenue. 2 other people were also shot and taken to the hospital for their injuries. A $25,000 reward is still being offered for information leading to an arrest and indictment in this case.
If you live in Laurel and received a phone call from their police department, it's more than likely it wasn't them. Laurel police are warning residents of a new scam using the Laurel non-emergency phone number. The callers are posing as officers and then telling residents about open warrants they may have and have to pay them quickly. The department shares with residents that they never collect money from residents over the phone or internet. If you receive these calls, please report it immediately. And a local municipality joins other cities to allow non-residents to vote in local elections. According to reports, Greenbelt City Council voted unanimously to amend the city charter to allow non-citizens to vote in local elections. The vote was 6-0, and several cities in Prince George's have adopted an all-resident voting policy, including Hyattsville, Mount Rainier, Cole Manor, and Cheverly. This issue has garnered support from CASA, an immigration advocacy group.
And the Prince George's Film Festival kicked off yesterday, and for the next 3 days, attendees can expect screenings and panel discussions on local filmmaking. CTV got a peek behind the curtain today and spoke with some filmmakers and more.
It's really exciting. I mean, I grew up in this area, so it means so much because, I was growing up, it was hard to find a community where you could make film and meet other filmmakers, so knowing that they have this is really exciting, and I don't know, it makes me proud that I'm able to show something in an area where I grew up in.
My stepmother is actually featured in the film festival. It's an award-winning film called Ruthless, and it captures the disparity of housing for the underprivileged Black community.
We're providing a platform where they can get together and they can exchange ideas and exchange numbers. So this person may have a discipline that this other person may have. So it's a great networking opportunity and collaborative effort between all the different aspects of film and television and visual arts.
You can learn more about the festival at pgfilmfestival.com. And more fun in the county this weekend. The Largo Town Center Association is hosting the Downtown Largo Festival. Not only is it a safe and fun space for the whole family, but the event also highlights the beauty of Largo and teaches how to keep the ponds thriving for years to come.
Part of our task is to manage the stormwater system that's in the surrounding Largo Park. That stormwater system is home to some of our amazing wildlife, home to people who like to just kind of walk around and experience nature. So we are embarking upon an effort to raise awareness around the importance of protecting our natural resources like the stormwater system.
We of course have great retail vendors and a kids activation area, performers, bands, street artists, gaming trucks. We've created a little park in the middle of a parking lot, a green space, and we'll have street performers in that space. And we've created a new game. It's called Rapid and Reckless, and it's a speed spades tournament tent. So I'm really excited for that, and I think everybody else will be too.
Again, that festival is going to be taking place from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Do you have any issues within the county? Well, now is the time to voice it. County Council at-large member Calvin Hawkins announced the launch of his countywide Issues Priority Survey. Hawkins wants to gather residents' views about the issues that affect their everyday lives. He's looking for opinions on a range of topics, including education, public safety, and economic growth. The survey will be active until October 31st. For more information, you can call 301-952-2195. And still to come on CTV News, a local church is getting ready to celebrate their anniversary.
We find out the history of the church and their impact when we return. Stay tuned.
Why is just a starting line? For the true self blooms only when we find our purpose. What makes us tick? Below the surface. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community. Living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. For some, their why is a summer under stars, memories and moments, connections near and far. Why is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. Here, a handshake is a promise. All our hearts are dancing. Laughing is our song. It's kinship, friendship, tide rising with the ship. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.
I'm the Big C.
What is the Big C?
I'm here to tell you about skin cancer. Skin cancer is the cancer you can see. If we see something new, changing, or unusual, that could be skin cancer.
Is there skin cancer on me right now?
I'm not a dermatologist, but you know who is?
Yeah.
Your dermatologist.
Yes.
You gotta get checked, girl.
Do I?
Yes! Everybody has to get checked. See the Big C today.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
For more than 100 years, Greater Mount Nebo AME Church has been pouring into the lives of Prince Georgians. The church, in fact, started from humble beginnings with the early days of Sunday service taking place in a log cabin. Today, the church is a staple in the county and is gearing up to celebrate its 147 years with a big homecoming and church anniversary weekend.
Of course, the church was founded even as historical documents indicate by 3 colored men back in 1877 who were seeking a place of worship for persons of color at that moment in time.
Greater Mount Nebo AME Church in Bowie was established back in June of 1877 by 3 freed black men in Prince George's County.
That gentleman that was a slaveholder here in Prince George's County, when he died, his son took over this farm that was owned by the slave owner, and those 3 men approached this gentleman, who indeed turned around and sold them the parcel of land where the church was located there.
Today, the church is celebrating 147 years of faith, service, and fellowship, with its homecoming and church anniversary celebrations kicking off this Saturday with family-friendly activities and ending with a Sunday church service. The church wants to continue to grow and has big plans for the future.
Greater Mount Nebo is now, we sit on, I like to round up and say 90 acres, but it's close to 90 acres of land. And as you heard Reverend Dr. Weaver said, that we have urban farming is starting. Well, on those acres, there has been plenty of plans, and so now we're going to try and move forward with some plans. We are hoping that the farming will kick off our wellness center. We were hoping that the farming will kick off a place for affordable housing or senior housing.
Today, the church is thriving with about 1,100 members, and church leaders credit the Word of God and the strong fellowship amongst its members as one of the keys to the church's long success.
That is what is the pillar for any church, and particularly within the Black church community, is indeed a message of hope, a message of inspiration that is provided. And so I was preceded by some preachers, and as a result of that, this church still exists today, all these 147 years later.
And so I've been saying it mostly every Sunday, come on back, come on back. Start one Sunday, then two, and start somewhere.
Meantime, more than 1,000 horses will be racing into the county this week as part of the 31st Capital Challenge Horse Show. The show will bring some horsepower to the county economy as well. A George Mason University study shows last year's Capital Challenge and Washington International Horse Shows generated nearly $25 million for the local economy. The Capital Challenge show kicked off Thursday at the Showplace Arena in Upper Marlboro and will run until October 6th. And the Washington International Horse Show will be in town October 21st to 31st.
If you need some extra cash for the holiday season, then you might want to contact your local UPS. The delivery service is planning to hire 125,000 seasonal workers nationwide to supplement the holiday demand. The holiday rush usually starts in October and steadily increases into January. And if you already work at UPS, you can take advantage as well. The company is offering $250 bonuses to employees who refer a seasonal worker.
All right, when you go to a store and you see the item you're looking for is locked behind a glass display case, what do? Do you get an employee to open it, or do you just move on? According to a survey from Consumer World, 2 of every 3 customers say the item is a lost sale, leading them to buy it at another store. 32% of customers will get a store employee to open the case. The remaining 13% find an alternate product that isn't locked away. Popular store chains across the nation have added the cases throughout the years to reduce retail crime. All right, now Simon Buggs is here with our Wednesday sports page.
Simon, what's going on in the world of sports?
Guys, I'm really excited about today's sports page as I got the chance to speak to 4-star prospect Malik Washington. Don't go anywhere, sports fans. I'll have more details on what he had to say on the other side of the break. Stay tuned.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that the big homie needs help too. You can't just rebound from everything. I know you've been grinding.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. I wonder why we waited so long. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind. Let's see how far we can go.
What up, everybody? It's time for your Friday sports page. We begin with some high school football news as I caught up with a 4-star prospect. Malik Washington is one of the most talented players in the state of Maryland. A quarterback for Archbishop Spalding, Washington is ranked as a 4-star recruit. I was able to sit down with the star QB and talk to him about his football journey to this point, and he touched on where his love of the game came from.
Really my family, being around the game, my dad played, things like that, and ever since I stepped out there, it kind of always felt like a place I wanted to be, making new friends, new experiences. It was always just fun.
To be great, you have to have some help along the way, and one person that played a big part in Washington's development is Aaron Campbell. Washington met Campbell when he was in the 8th grade, and shortly after, he came out to a training session that Campbell was hosting. But little did the two know, that first training session would spark a bond.
I never forget my first 3 passes, all in the dirt. Horrible, horrendous. And it was just, I laughed it off, kept it pushing and finished the session out. And, me and coach talking, yeah, I want to keep coming back out because I want to get better. And ever since then, it's kind of taken on its new life now. We have a great relationship. He's like kind of a mentor to me almost. And we talk basically every day, he'll call me, things like that. And we'll just talk about life. It's not always about, football or quarterback. Sometimes it's just, talk about what's going on.
And going into high school, the Maryland native had his pick of the litter of which schools he could play for. But he chose Spalding, a school that wasn't known for having high-level recruits. But that didn't stop him from wanting to be a Cavalier.
It felt like home. You know, my cousin Chris Clark, I went there, he graduated 2018, 2019, one of those years. And going to all his games, you know, watching the student section interact and seeing how the team carry themselves, it always felt like a place I could be. You know, the coaching staff, super friendly, super nice, and just always kind of felt like home.
Washington went on to have a great start to his Cavs career as he helped lead the team to their first Class A championship in 2022. And he touched on whether or not he expected to have that success so soon.
You know, it's kind of like an expectation I put on myself to, you know, try to elevate it. We talk a lot about standing on the shoulders of the guys that came before us at Spalding. So it's like, you know, the former teams had, you know, push it up, and now we had to kind of take it over that hill. And now the standard is winning. So it's like now when the guys come after us, they know the standard and they have to, you know, elevate the standard even more.
Malik ended up leading his team to another championship the following year, and colleges began to take notice of his talent. Washington got offers from so many schools, including Tennessee, Oregon, and Michigan, just to name a few. But he chose to stay home and commit to the University of Maryland, and he explained to me what went into that decision.
It's really kind of the same as the high school decision. You know, it felt like home. I've been up to a bunch of games. I got a lot of familiar faces there, different things like that. And I always felt like it was a place I could see myself. You know, the coaches had been on me, you know, for a while. And it was just like, yeah, I can see myself doing this. And we started the whole thing, you know, getting the 25 guys to stay home. And now it's like we just want to keep building that brand, keep building it up and saying like, yeah, like we got a lot of talent in the DMV. It's like if we all play together, like who knows what we could be.
The person responsible for the vision of keeping DMV players at home is current Terps head football coach Mike Loxley. With how much of a gifted prospect Washington is, he has a chance to be the face of that vision, and he's looking forward to it.
It feels good. You know, me and Coach are super tight, super cool. So it's like being able to, you know, help him build his program, and, you know, he's going to return the favor by coaching us hard and getting us, you know, to the place that we want to be. It just is a good feeling.
Good luck going forward, Malik. I can't wait to see you in a Terps jersey. Speaking of the Terps, the football team will be taking the field tomorrow against Indiana. The Hooters are 4-0 on this season so far, and head coach Mike Loxley spoke recently about the tough matchup ahead.
These games have always been tough against Indiana, and I can tell you that Coach Signetti, his staff, I mean, I think they've got 5 starters on defense that transferred with them from JMU. They've got 3 on offense that are playing well. They've got the former MAC Player of the Year in their quarterback. Really, really talented roster, and the way I see it, as I kind of look at it as being kind of executive producing this game, is this is almost like a combination of the 3 teams, Michigan State, Virginia, and Villanova that we just played. It's like combining all 3 of those teams. And so we got a big challenge on our hands, and it's on the road. And so we'll find out a lot about ourselves.
Kickoff is at noon, and that wraps up your Friday sports page.
All right, now, Simon, I just love those stories where you really get to meet the players, see their journey from the beginning to now. What was it like getting to talk to Malik?
It was a great experience, guys, because not only he's obviously talented, but he has such a great personality, too. He seemed like a real humble young man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he does in College Park. He definitely has a bright future ahead for himself.
All right, can't wait to see it. Now, let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. More rain will be taking over the region this weekend. That's on account of that storm we talked about at the beginning. Tomorrow we'll have light rain, and it'll be a high of 83 degrees.
Sunday, we'll have a 60% chance of rain. We'll have a high of 77 and a low of 65. Monday, more rain is expected, and we'll have a high of 72.
Tomorrow morning, the Bowie Multimodal Access and Public Spaces, or MAPS, a subgroup of the Green Team, will be hosting a meet and greet event at the Bowie Senior Center. This meet and greet will allow residents to meet volunteers who are dedicated to enhancing biking and trail efforts all over the city of Bowie.
Members of the Washington Area Bicyclist Association will also be present. The event is from 10 a.m. until noon. For more information, call 301-809-3044. And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again on a Monday. Good night.
Good night, everybody.